The soft hum of the city filled the upscale restaurant as Emily Grayson sat by the window, staring at her reflection in the glass more than the street beyond it. Once, she had been known as the Iron CEO, a woman who built her tech empire from a tiny apartment into a billion-dollar corporation. She was the kind of leader everyone feared yet secretly admired, sharp, confident, unstoppable. That was before the accident. It had been almost 2 years since that night, the screech of tires, the sound of shattering glass, the crushing silence that followed. She woke up in a hospital bed to find her world cut in half, her body from the waist down no longer obeying her. Since then, Emily had buried herself in work, pretending to be fine while her heart grew colder by the day. Her assistant, desperate to pull her out of isolation, had signed her up for a blind date on a popular dating app without telling her who it was. Emily almost canceled when she learned about it, but a strange curiosity made her go. Maybe it was loneliness. Maybe it was the memory of what laughter used to feel like. When Daniel Reed walked in, she immediately noticed he didn't belong in this kind of place. His jacket was neat but clearly old, his shoes slightly scuffed, and his tie too short. He looked around nervously, holding a small bouquet that seemed embarrassingly out of place among the candlelit tables. "Emily," he asked, his voice soft, hopeful. She hesitated, then nodded. "You're Daniel?" He smiled awkwardly. "Guilty. I wasn't sure if you'd actually show up. You look different from your profile." She raised an eyebrow. "Different how?" "Stronger," he said simply. That answer, honest, unexpected, made her pause. Most people either pitied her or avoided mentioning her wheelchair altogether. But Daniel looked at her the way people used to, like she was still a person, not a tragedy. They talked. Slowly at first. He told her about his 6-year-old daughter, Lily, who thought pancakes were magic circles. He admitted he hadn't dated anyone since his wife passed away 3 years ago. Emily listened quietly, watching his face light up whenever he mentioned his daughter. When it was her turn, she hesitated. "I wasn't always like this," she said finally, motioning toward her chair. "I didn't assume you were," Daniel replied, and somehow, that simple sentence broke something inside her. A wall she didn't know she'd built so high. By the time dessert came, they were laughing. For the first time in years, Emily's smile reached her eyes, but just as she was starting to feel something shift inside her, Daniel's phone buzzed. His expression changed instantly. "Panic. I'm so sorry," he said, grabbing his coat. "My babysitter just called. Lily's running a fever. I have to go." Emily nodded, trying to hide her disappointment. "Of course. Go." He looked at her for a moment longer. "Can I call you?" She wanted to say yes. She wanted to believe this connection wasn't just a fragile illusion. "If you want," she said softly. When he left, the restaurant felt colder. But for the first time in years, Emily didn't feel numb. She felt something real. And that scared her more than anything. Days passed. Work meetings, hospital therapy sessions, endless silence at home. Life resumed its rhythm. Yet, Daniel's voice kept echoing in her mind. Then, one morning, she received a text. "Daniel, Lily's better. She drew a picture of you, said you're the lady who makes her dad smile again." Emily stared at the message for a long time. Then, slowly, she typed back, "Tell her thank you." That evening, she received another message. "We're at the park tomorrow afternoon. You should come." No pressure. For hours, Emily debated. She hadn't gone out in public outside of work in months. But something in her heart, something she thought was long dead, whispered, "Go." When she arrived, Lily was sitting on a picnic blanket, hair in pigtails, clutching a coloring book. Daniel's face lit up when he saw Emily. "You came," he said, surprised. "Don't make me regret it." She teased. Lily ran up to her instantly, showing her drawings. "You're the pretty lady from the restaurant." Emily laughed, genuinely, freely. She hadn't heard her own laughter sound that pure in years. They spent hours together, playing, talking, just being. For once, Emily forgot the chair. Forgot the pain. Daniel treated her like she belonged in the moment, not in her past. When the sun began to set, Daniel turned to her. "You know, when I walked into that restaurant, I was terrified. I thought it was going to be a disaster." Emily smiled. "It kind of was. But maybe the right kind." He looked into her eyes, his voice low. "You're the first person who made me feel like life didn't stop when I lost her. Maybe it just started again, differently." Emily felt her chest tighten. "You made me realize the same thing," she whispered. "I thought my life ended the day I lost my legs. But maybe it just began again." With a smile, Lily ran up, tugging on Daniel's sleeve. "Can she come again, Daddy?" Daniel smiled. "I hope so." And Emily, for the first time since the accident, didn't hesitate. "I'd like that," she said. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Daniel reached out, not for her hand, but to gently take the handle of her wheelchair, walking beside her, step by step, into the glow of evening light. She looked at him, smiling softly. "So much for a blind date disaster." He chuckled. "Best disaster I've ever had." And his laughter filled the quiet park. Emily realized something she'd forgotten long ago, that broken things can still find new ways to shine. That love doesn't heal what's lost, it helps you see what's still worth living for. And in that moment, under the fading sunlight, the paralyzed CEO who thought she'd never smile again did.